Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Link for our next presentation.
Deputy Mayor, last council meeting you requested an update on the interchange and the connecting road, so I've asked the Director of Growth Management and Public Works to just provide a short update.
Good evening. Oh, there we go. Good evening. Stuart Buchanan, Department of Growth Management. We're going to take a few moments and give you an update on the St. John's Heritage Parkway as well as the related interchanges. I'd like to start by giving you a broad overview of the St. John's Heritage Parkway, how it came into being, and where we're at today. The St. John's Heritage Parkway, of course, started over 25 years ago. It is located, for the members of the audience not familiar with it, on the west side of I-95. Its purpose was to provide a new north-south arterial roadway that would connect, connect the east-west roadways. This did a number of things. One, it greatly aided the county in the case of evacuation. Is there any way we can shrink it just a little bit? Thank you. In that, should there be a blockage on I-95 or on one of the east-west roadways, you would be able to take the parkway north or south to get away from the coast. In other words, to evacuate the coastline and get further inland. It provides relief to I-95, especially in the instance of vehicular conflicts. A lot of people don't realize that our section of I-95 has one of the highest accidents rates in the state of Florida, with the exception of South Florida. The reason for that is we have thousands of residents, not just in Palm Bay, but in Brevard County, that utilize I-95 as a local road. They get on I-95 to go to work. They get on I-95 to go shopping. They get on I-95 onto the interstate to simply go to the next town. As you all know, the interstate system was designed not only to support the United States military, but also commercial truck traffic. And so on the interstate system, you see the bulk of your commercial truck traffic, your 18-wheelers, your fuel trucks, things of that nature. And whenever there's an accident between passenger vehicles and tractor-trailer trucks, they usually end up the same way, which is tragic. So one of the purposes of the St. John's Heritage Parkway was to act as for relief to I-95 so that local traffic could utilize it rather than get on the interstate system. It takes the modeling that was done for the St. John's Heritage Parkway when it opens, which is about to happen very shortly. It will take 20% or 13,000 daily car trips off of I-95 the moment it's opened. So to put this in layman's terms, if you see the parkway along the west, that's in the purple and the yellow, and you see I-95 in the red going north and south, all those houses that are located between the two, instead of having to go east every morning and get on I-95 to go north or south, they can go west and get on the parkway and go north and south. This is going to be especially important for Melbourne and Palm Bay, particularly those areas where you have all the Department of Defense industries such as Harris, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin. You have all these major employees that live in the surrounding communities, and yet they take I-95 to leave their community and go into work. Originally, the St. John's Heritage Parkway was going to be more of a state project and less of a city or county project. However, the state of Florida, Department of Transportation, wanted to post it at a much higher rate of speed. In other words, it was going to be a 55 or 60 or 65 mile an hour road. And because of that, there would be very limited access to it along it. The different cities and the counties got involved. They realized the potential of a new north-south arterial, what it would mean for growth, for new housing, for new commercial, new light industrial, all those things along the parkway. And so the lead of the project was taken over by local government. The parkway itself, here in Brevard County, is primarily being built by two agencies. The first one being Brevard County, and the second one being the city of Palm Bay. There are no other cities that are actually building segments of the parkway. It is just us and the county. I'm going to talk about a couple of specific sections that have already been built. Many of you may be familiar with the parkway that's already been constructed from Malabar north to the city limits. It goes from Malabar north to the city limits, and then you've seen the county portion, which has been completed but not opened yet, which goes from the city limits to 192. The second leg that the county will be completing goes from 192 north to Ellis. That is a new I-95 interchange. The Ellis interchange, along with the Ellis widening, will assist travelers in commercial and light industrial traffic in getting in and out of the Melbourne airport. As you know, the Melbourne airport has been very successful in recent years in bringing employment centers on airport property. Numerous light industrial manufacturing, I'm sure you've read about in the Florida Today. You've heard about it on the news. They've been very successful in locating companies there. Each of the boxes that you see on those displays are the FDOT project numbers assigned. Anytime that you're interested and you want to know what's going on, every DOT project has one of those 6-digit numbers. And that's the only thing you need to know or need to remember. Every one of those projects has its own web page that the state of Florida puts together. It tells you exactly what the status is. It tells you where the road is going, how far along they are, when it's going to go out for construction, all those sorts of things. Let's talk. I mentioned just a minute about the Ellis interchange. There are 2 other interchanges going in Brevard County, one of which is not shown on this map. It is Vieira and the Vieira DRI, and the other one is shown on the south part of the map, and it is right there. That interchange, of course, is being built here in our very own Palm Bay. It is located north of Micco Road, east of Babcock. It is the interchange that will provide access to I-95 between Fellsmere and Malabar Road. The distance on I-95 between Fellsmere and Malabar Road is the biggest gap in the interstate system in the United States. In other words, from Maine to Miami, that has the biggest gap where there is no way to get on or off of I-95. The city's responsibility is the construction of the connecting road from the interstate west of Babcock. Let's go down to the next slide. Oh, there we go. And this is going to give you a close-up display. So you can see Babcock Street, and you can see the new interchange. This is approximately 1.67 miles that the city of Palm Bay will be constructing. The interchange itself, located on I-95, the bid is being awarded November 30th by the Florida Department of Transportation. It is a design build, which means they will probably start construction somewhere around May 1st. The time for the interchange to be constructed is 15 to 18 months. The city's responsibility that's a $31 million project, by the way. The city's responsibility is simply the connecting road. I say simply, but that's actually not a small thing. It is a 1.67 miles of 4-lane urban divided roadway with curb and gutter. If you want to know what that means, that is basically US 1. US 1 is a 4-lane urban divided through Palm Bay. It is not something that cities normally build. Those roads are normally built by the state of Florida, and occasionally a county will build one. So it is a big project for a city to undertake. The engineer's estimate has varied between, due to the elevation of the road, which may vary depending on the finalization of the design build plans. The estimate is expected to come in somewhere between $8 and $11 million. What that will do is all of that property that you see located in there between the interchange and Babcock will now become open for development. As you know, anybody that's driven on I-95 and exited off an interchange, that's where you see your hotels, your restaurants, all those different things. Your open plaza malls typically want to be located as close to an interchange as they can. What I'd like to say in closing, before I open it up for questions, is that the city is expected to build the road in roughly 6 months. And so you have the FDOT, who has 15 to 18 months to build. Our project timeline is about 6 months. So we have about 12 months of slack, if you will. We have to have our road open when they open their interchange. If we get done early, that's fine. But this is the 18 months of DOT. This is us in the 6 months. So we have the ability to slide it forward and backwards. One of the reasons that you would do that is if you were to open even though you have a brand new road and you barricade it off, as we put the barricades up ourselves on the existing county portion, if you open it up prior to the interchange being open, you'll get traffic, especially construction traffic, for the interchange that's under construction. So you have to be very careful of that. You don't want your brand new minted road damaged by the other construction project. But again, our project is roughly 6 months, and we are falling within the DOT timeline of 15 to 18 months. So we've got about 12 months of leeway, 6 months on either end. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions, council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're going to move in. Excuse me.